Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Think Tank Logie session. My name is Eileen Smith, and today we are going to talk about offsite promotions. We might not talk about that first, but we're going to talk about it. But one of the first things that I want to ask everyone that's in the room, we have a full room here of amazing Logie Amazon influencer, professional content creators. I love you all. Did y'all see our friend Lane yesterday talking about automations on the Fluencer Fruit um, office hours? It was on YouTube though. Oh, if y'all missed that, y'all got to go back and watch that. Y'all definitely have to go back and watch that because when you're talking about offsite and um, Lane, I see you're on your phone, but it would be nice if you could just say hi. When you're talking about offsite, if you have a lot of content or your workflow is such that you just feel like you don't have time for the offsite, then what you need to build into your workflow is those automations. And I know Lane has talked to this group before about automations, but he's added some new things to his tech stack. And yeah, it was a really great session. And hopefully you'll get a chance to go back and watch it. And I will get the link in a moment as I'm because I want to um, talk to you guys about a couple things before we get into all of the main topic today. And one of them is all the exciting updates that are happening over on the Logie platform. And I'm going to ask Ehud to jump in because I got a question the other day about the orders report. Has anybody noticed that we have an orders report now on our dashboard? Like when you go over on the left-hand side and you go through tracking, I believe one of the items on there is orders. And honestly, I was not able to really speak too much to it because I'm like, Ed didn't tell me what it is yet. So Ehud, are you available to talk about it?
So you're gonna tell me what exactly so I can open it in front of me
Oh,
and see what I can
okay, so it's
share.
under manage.
Yeah.
The very last thing there is
Oh,
orders.
oh yeah. That's super important. That is super important. Let me tell everybody what it is, and this is probably. Let me turn on my camera here because I am sitting in our garage office, but I am on my phone and my computer is in front of me. Usually it's the other way around that you can actually see me in the computer. If needed, I'll just connect my computer and then I'll talk from there. Um, Logi has become a very powerful distribution system of samples. We're pretty much the go-to place right now to get your top samples for products to be promoted on Amazon, on Creator Connection, etc., for half price. We have thousands of samples from all different categories, all different price points, all different everything, and a lot of creators are taking advantage of it because we are the only ones who offer this, and brands work with us. We have hundreds of brands that are joining Logie and enjoying that amazing AI capabilities that Logie provides to be able to match the perfect product with the perfect influencer. However, here's the thing: when a brand comes to Logie and says, "Listen, I've been using Creator Connection. It's not doing well for me. I cannot handle all these hundreds of automated messages I'm getting. It's just bombarding me. I don't have time to deal with that." The fact that you can use AI to know who from all the influencers on Amazon are the perfect one for my brand, it's amazing. I only want to use you. Here's my products. I'm going to pay people commissions on Creator Connection, but I need you to find those top influencers for me. But they give me 24 units for this ASIN or 7 units for that ASIN. And then this very expensive unit, they only give me 2 units. But Eileen, she knows for a fact that even though she wasn't matched with the AI, she can still do really good with product X or product Y or product Z. And she says, damn, that product is $89 on Amazon. I'm not going to spend $89 on Amazon to get that product, even though they have this amazing Creator Connection campaign. But I would rather pay 50%. I want to pay half price for that product because I feel like I can generate sales. I know Logie's AI didn't find me the perfect match. Maybe next month it will, but I want it right now. And I wasn't matched with it. I want to go get it. So you go to Logie's opportunities and you see that product that you like there and that you think that can bring you a lot of sales, and you click buy sample. And you can literally buy that product for half the price it is sold on Amazon. Meaning that if they're giving you 25% on Creator Connection, you sell 2 units, boom, you cover the cost. And if it's a product you need to use anyway in your daily life, it's a win-win situation. However, to protect people from taking advantage of this system and abusing it and just going there to buy shop for thousands of products for half price, you have to generate content within 14 days, just like everything else on Logie. And if you don't, you're going to be on a vacation mode. And if you don't create the content, you'll be on a lifetime vacation mode or jail, product jail, which means you will never be able to get any new products or any new matches. So that's how we're making sure nobody will abuse that system, because that system is crazy. I mean, you can literally get crazy, crazy products for half price to create content for them. Because we're such a massive system that is providing this data, we have to give you, the influencers, a way to track and know what product you actually placed orders for. So now we created a new page called orders. And that page helps us track everything that goes inside our robust system when it comes to orders. The main thing you will see is the samples you are being sent, the samples you are buying for half price, but you will also see other related orders that are internal orders that we use in our system. So in order for us to track the affiliate fees that people are making, because a lot of influencers are sending brands to Logie, telling them, guys, if you want to have an easy life promoting your products, go use Logie. That's how I get my products. That's how I get my matches. That's how I know I can trust a brand. Go to Logie, sign up. This is an invitation code that you can use. Everyone that is doing this is getting hundreds of dollars from Logie as referral bonuses. That's another order that is being created in the system. So now you can see how, because Logie became such a robust system that has all these amazing features that allows creators to make money, we can actually provide that data for you in a very organized place. And that is the Logie orders page that shows you, oh my God, I've got this sample shipped to me, and that sample shipment cost Logie $57.50. $182.20. I'm looking at real orders, sample shipments to influence XYZ. If your accountant is asking you, oh, you got all these samples, how much was it? You need to report it to the tax. You need to report it to the IRS. Before that, you were like in awe. People are saying, maybe I should create a Google sheet to track what I'm paying for samples so I can, be honest with the IRS and tell them exactly what I got for free, how much it was worth. Well, Logie does it all for you. In one place, you have an orders page that shows you exactly how much you paid for a sample, how much Logie paid in real money for a free sample that you received on the day you received it, not 7 days later, not a month later, on the day it was shipped, how much it was. That's like the 100% tax approved way of doing it. Yes,
I want to add something and I also have a question
yeah.
because I know this question is going to come up from somebody, maybe not anybody who's in this room because y'all know better. And Amazon has this policy against the brands saying you buy the product and we'll reimburse you and all this old stuff. This has nothing to do with that because you're literally getting the product from Logie. Logie got a warehouse and they have these products sitting there waiting for us to either be matched or for the item to be purchased with this half price. So this has nothing to do with manipulating Amazon sales data, which is the reason why they have that policy against that. And like I said, I know everybody in the room is shaking their head like, yeah, we know that, Eileen, but remember, this is going on YouTube. And somebody else might say, oh, that sounds like some shady stuff. No, it's not because it's not coming from Amazon. It's coming directly from Logie. Okay. So I know I read somebody's mind because I just saw a comment pop up that said, OMG.
No,
All
it's
right.
really important, and we can just clarify it and let people know that these are real samples being shipped. Some of them are, as you say, are being shipped directly from Logie warehouses. Some of them are shipped as fulfilled by Amazon because the brands only have those products stored in the Amazon marketplace. But these are real products being shipped, and those are real products that are really paid for products. And there's no manipulation here because nobody. The biggest manipulation, let's be very clear about it, because it was a way of uh, a lot of shady sellers. A lot of shady sellers, and we used to get a lot of them. And I'm not going to generalize anything here, but we did get a lot of Chinese agents. We all remember that, all these Chinese agents coming to us and saying, "Hey, buy the product. I will refund you, and you will leave a 5-star review for my product." This was the biggest, most shady way of these brands to really get those sales, real sales, and get reviews. With Logie, you will never see anything like that. Logie is 100% legit, and it's like, we're following, but that's because we've been around for many years and we've been following Amazon's terms of service to a T. So we never do anything silly about that. We have thousands. I think that 80% of all the active Amazon influencers are using Logie on a daily basis. And that is why we cannot allow ourselves to, to do anything silly. So you will never be asked to leave a review. Never, ever. And the biggest, shadiest thing was, you're going to buy the product, you're going to leave a review, I'm going to send you your money back. Boom. That was so against terms of service, because this is really manipulating Amazon's algorithm to like your product more, to show better reviews, to show better ranking. And that is something that you will never experience with Logie. So thank you for clarifying that, Eileen. I really appreciate it. And it's very good that people understand how it works.
Good. And here's my question because the amounts, like you were just reading those amounts out, and they don't actually match the exact amount that the product is being sold for on Amazon. So does that include the shipping or is there some other
Exactly.
little? Okay.
Yeah. When you look at the product prices that you see on the system, it always includes the shipping tax and fulfillment fee, which is a small percentage that Stripe is charging for credit card processing, all that kind of stuff. Basically, you see the final fee that was paid for that product to be shipped to you.
Okay. I'm just trying to channel the questions because I see nobody put a question in the
It's a
chat,
it's a
but I'm
great
trying to extract these questions from people's brains right now.
It's a great question from a tax perspective, because when it comes to taxes, the IRS is saying, hey, you have to include the shipping cost as well, because that's also a cost that was charged when a product was shipped to you. So for people who are doing taxes and are very legit, and they're really following the IRS guides, they have to report on every sample that was shipped to you, because if it wouldn't be shipped for free, you would have to pay money to buy it, and you would have to pay for the shipping to get it delivered to you. So, if you want to be really legit and everything, then I'm not a tax advisor, and this is definitely not a tax, advisory or any kind of. You do your own research and you talk to your accountants and everything. But having that as a report on Logie that allows you to really get all this data and know exactly how much a product was actually costing and all that kind of stuff. I feel like it's really good for people to have that.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so very much. Please, 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 you guys, type your questions in. I know somebody has a question that y'all didn't ask yet, but y'all can ask it later. You don't have to ask it right now. I will be monitoring the chat. Okay, so let's talk about the offsite promotion. I have this new friend, and I'm not sure that you all have it. I talked about it last week. I know I said a friend, but then I said it. It's that little bubble that pops up when you're on your Amazon back end, mostly like on your earnings page. Sometimes it'll pop up on um, your storefront when you're on the just looking at the private view of your storefront, but it's called Ask Creator Assistant. And it's a little AI with the little Amazon arrow underneath of it. Okay. So this little AI tool has come in handy for things like this because I wanted to know, because I do promote some offsite. I wanted to know. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's a question from Antoine. Ehud, is Logie payments delayed past 2 months? That's interesting because my payment was not delayed. Um, so, Antoine, I don't know. You may have to reach out to support on that, unless Ehud has a quick answer.
Yeah, no delays. Anything is going according to plan. Everything is always paid in the first week of every month. So I don't know of any delays unless it's a very specific issue. I assume that Antoine has some kind of maybe he changed his bank account, maybe he was talking to support, maybe it was a different account. We usually don't have any delays. Like
Yeah.
everybody's getting paid on time always.
Can everybody please type into the chat if you got your Logie payment that was due to you this month? I'm going to type in here yes, because I got mine. Yep, I see another yes come in. Um, come on with the yeses, y'all. I know y'all can type in. Come on. Yes, yes. uh, Amy. Yeah, Amy, did you reach out to the support? Okay. Melissa says yes. Your Jama says yes. Altavis says yes. Raymond says yes. Okay. So I don't know if there's a problem with those two specific accounts.
Mine always is delayed for some reason, but it
Oh,
it does show up. So
okay.
I've talked to Emma multiple times and she's assisted me, but it's not an issue. I know it's gonna come up. I know it's gonna come.
Okay.
That so I just want to make sure to clarify. So you do see it sometimes getting a little bit delayed, but you do see it coming.
Um, well, I've had to reach out several times because I went like 3 months without getting a payment. And
Wow.
then so I got a few, but my banking has never changed. So I don't know what it was, but she always assists me right away.
Okay, good to know. Let me know because that's very rare. And if anything like that happens, then it's something that I always love to know and immediately see what's going on.
Hmm.
Most people, so it's very clear. Most people see the payment arriving. I see more and more people saying, "Yeah, arrived, arrived, arrived." It's arriving on the first week because it depends on the bank that you use. Different banks have different routing and SWIFT and ACH things, but it's usually arriving the first week.
Mm. My
For
last one was February 11th, and that was from the month of, I think it was like October or November. I can't remember.
Probably, yeah, because it's net plus 60. But that actually makes a lot of sense. So what you're telling me is actually making a lot of sense because everybody got their last payment on February and their next payment is arriving now. Like literally
Mm.
today is the 6th. So most people I see on the chat already got it, except for you and Antoine that has some kind of an issue with his bank. But yeah, it's very important for everybody to know that payments always arrive in the first week. Depending on your bank, it can take a little bit longer. So if you're saying that you got it on the 11th, then maybe your bank takes a little bit longer to process it, but you should be able to see it by March 11th. So, or I hope that earlier. But again, I want to emphasize that if anybody has issues with payments from Logie, because Logie is an automated system and it works, perfectly on the right times, except for very high payments. Some people are getting thousands of dollars every month. These people have noticed that sometimes they are getting it a few days in a delay because it goes to manual um, audit just to make sure that nobody's abusing the system and that everything is fine. Just because if someone made $100 and all of a sudden they make $2,000, then someone needs to say, hey, just make sure that nobody was doing anything silly here. But we have thousands of people getting tens of thousands of dollars every single month, so I know that it should be a very straightforward thing to do. um, I am going to throw something important into the chat right now because this is going to be very, very powerful in the next few weeks, and we'll see how to adjust. And that is what's happening on the 9th of March. On the 9th of March, Amazon are um, decided to take away the reports from influencers and associates. They took this very big major step that will affect an entire industry. Um, as yesterday I was attending a big conference. We were sponsoring the a big Amazon seller event in New York, and I spoke to hundreds of sellers and hundreds of service providers from all type of you know genres and stuff like that. And everybody were very worried about this big announcement by Amazon, mentioning that Amazon are going backwards, and where all the other platforms and affiliate companies are moving forward and providing more and more data. Amazon are actually taking away the data and hiding it, and very explicitly saying that they're going to be hiding the data and only giving us very limited general idea of what is actually selling. So based on what I was hearing yesterday in the event and in the past few weeks talking to influencers and brands and service providers, it sounds like this is going to have a very big impact on the success of creators and the way for them to get paid. And it will also, of course, affect the way that Logie works. And we'll have to find a way to make sure that Logie stays the most prominent Amazon influencer platform out there. But I do want to mention it because there's going to be a bunch of changes coming this month once we see how this very big step by Amazon will affect the entire industry. Again, this is very good for Amazon because they're keeping the data for themselves and nobody knows what's really happening. But it's a very unfair step towards the hundreds of thousands of Amazon affiliates and influencers that are going to be directly affected by it. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that because it is a very big announcement and a lot of changes are going to happen in the world based on this statement that Amazon did that is going to take Amazon 15 years back in reporting. So yeah, we'll see how that affects everything. It reminds me of Amazon Associates when I just signed up in 2010, it was 2011. I was one of the first Amazon Associates. The data was very limited. It stayed very limited for a long time, but they were actually getting better and better in the past few months. And now they're going back 15 years to the time where you just don't know anything. So we'll see how that affects everything. Yeah. Back to you, Eileen. Sorry about that. I
Oh,
just wanted
for
to.
sure. No, no, no problem. But just for the records and the recording, I want to read out a few of these comments. And Stephanie says, I trust Logie more than Amazon. I haven't checked my bank account yet. And Nicole said, yep, on 3/3. This is to answer the question about getting payment. Antoine said, same here. I received payment before, but last 2 months I did not. Latoya said, it makes me smile when I get a Logie deposit. Yes, it does. And Andrew said, usually receive payments from the 29th to the 3rd. David said, just got my Logie payment on March 4th. And then I'm not going to read the next part of his comment because he's bragging about how much money he made. And then Stephanie said, I appreciate. Oh, now this is in response to what you just explained. I appreciate you explained this last week, Ehud. I misunderstood the Amazon documentation and thought the link products report would be for on-site as well. I am glad I reread it all before the change happened. Yeah, they have these webinars. Why they wouldn't have a webinar to, explain this to us a little more thoroughly, I don't know. But I feel, somebody asked me, how do I feel about this change? I feel like they're going to have to move the date again because talk about getting bombarded with support because, everybody doesn't have these wonderful resources like Ehud talking to us and being able to come together as a community to talk to each other and kind of give each other heads up about these things. So there are thousands and thousands of other influencers that are just going to be like, what? What's wrong with my reports? And they're going to be blindsided. So I hope they changed the date for the launch of this new reporting, but we'll see.
I just want to know who is the person on Amazon that decided to take Amazon backwards so in such a big way um because I've spoken in the event to there's a very big publisher that is making millions on Amazon, millions of dollars, and they rely on this report like you cannot even imagine. They told me that they have entire algorithm that looks at their data and decides what is going to be the next product. They have a network of websites on the internet. They're also an Israeli company, so that's why I know them. Um, and they are helping brands generate a lot of sales because they have this buy it or dump it, or should I buy this, like a lot of websites that kind of help people make good buying decisions. And they spend a lot of time creating those top 5 products to the and they buy the products and they make content and posts and articles and videos to show how the products, top 5 products for 2026. And the only way they could do it is by looking at the data and really seeing what's selling and what's working for them. Um, and they said like it's like literally what's happening in Australia right now is like Amazon spitting in our face and telling us that's it, you're not going to get any more data anymore, and how are we going to even manage our business moving forward? Like people entire business was built in the past 10 years on looking at the reports, analyzing the data, and deciding what's working for you and what not. um, I just did an amazing content for this product and I created a blog post and I posted it on my Facebook. Now I want to see if it works. If it works, I'm going to keep on, talking about it in my live streams and talk about it to my audiences and promote it. But they're not letting me know if I sold it anymore. I can't check. I can't go the next day, 2 days later, 3 days later. Did I sell it? Did I not? Did I sell 2 units, 3 units, 7 units? Nothing. Only if I sell 100 units, they will tell me, oh, this product sold. If I sell 2, 3, I need to know if I can get to 100 units. Let me get the indicators that something is working or not working. Well, they're taking all of that away. And I'm just wondering, who is that person on Amazon that decided on doing that thing and and why do it? Like I wonder when they're going to do it for the sellers. Imagine a seller selling products on Amazon and Amazon is not telling them what products they sold on Amazon. This is the same thing. This is the same thing. I'm sending a box of 100 units to Amazon's fulfillment warehouse, and I say, hey, Amazon, I need you to fulfill this. And Amazon says, yeah, give it to me. I'm not going to tell you if it's sold or not. But if it's sold, you'll see the money eventually. But you're not going to get a report. That's kind of how bad this is. And if they do it to the influencers, I won't be surprised if it's coming to the brands next. And I mean, I'm asking myself, the fact that you're the biggest e-commerce company in the world doesn't mean that you should take away the ability for your stakeholders, people that work with you, to manage their businesses. Why would you do something like that? But
Mhm.
I don't know who's the one who decided that on Amazon. I'm sure that it's a very bad mistake, and it is. I have to agree on what I've heard. It's just really taking Amazon backwards, and it's going to affect the entire ecosystem because it's such a big company. And I think that whoever made that decision made a big mistake. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And we're all just going to be on the edge of our seats waiting to see exactly what we are going to be able to find out in these reports. So Andrew has a request, and he says, feature request. Would it be possible to give us notifications when brands leave Logie? I missed out on Halo sales because it was a brand I had received multiple samples for. I did not want to miss out on Logie commissions. But a couple days later, I had multiple items for Halo sales and checked Logie to see the brands no longer listed. So I missed out on CC, Creator Connections, Halo commissions because I did not know the brand left Logie. What do you think about that, Ehud?
I'm actually confused. I'm actually a
So,
bit confused.
as you know, and just to state for everyone else, if there's a Logie product, you've got matched with the product, or you purchased the half price and you did some videos, but then you see that same brand is on Creator Connections, but you can't get paid from both. So you say, I'm not going to do the Creator Connections because I want the Logie commission. Because
Mm,
Logie might be 25%, Create Connections might be 15 or 10 or whatever. For whatever reason, just because you love Logie and you're loyal to Logie, you're like, I'm not going to accept the Creator Connections campaign. I'm just going to get my Logie commission. And then
that's
you, and
that.
then,
So that. Thank you for explaining that. That's amazing to hear. Um, and it's the first time I come to think about it. So thank you for the explanation. But basically, you're not accepting the because we see the Creator Connection campaign, and it just automatically um, disqualified the Logi Commission. So I didn't know that by not accepting the campaign on Creator Connection, you're actually taking advantage of that. I'm just hearing that for the first time. It's beautiful. Thank you so much for letting me know. I love it, and especially if you have a higher commission on Logi, it makes sense.
yeah, and
Um,
for the ones that I've seen, the Logie commission was always higher. But
Wow.
I,
Yeah.
it could have, I don't see every product, right? That's on Creative Connections or that's on Logie. So I didn't know if that was just, but and it may
But
not,
but it's
it
a,
may,
but I understand the question now. So
yeah.
basically the brand left Logi and they didn't grab that, so they want to get notified. Here's the thing. I would say that it might be a good idea to notify. It's a great feature idea to have um, people that receive the sample be notified that the product or that purchase a half price sample be notified that the brand has left Logi, but not sending it to tens of thousands of Amazon influencers on our platform and telling them, hey, this because I feel like a lot of people don't care, but when a brand joins Logi and they have 100 samples, 200 samples, 10 samples that are going to be distributed across their entire catalog, then it might be smart to let these people that either bought a half price sample or received the sample to know that they are no longer a Logi to make their decisions if they want to do X, Y, or Z. Um, Very good feature request, and I'm definitely going um, to to do that. Also, letting the brands know that once they cancel their subscription on Logi, we're letting them know that all their influencers are going to be notified that they're no longer working on Logi, and that will have an effect on their success. So they will say, "Oh, maybe I should stay with Logi longer," even though there's very few brands that leave us. So that's a good news.
Yeah, because sometimes even you've done a video, maybe you even got the Logie commissions, and then you're like, I think I should double down on that and do another video.
Exactly.
But then and usually when the brands the ones that I've encountered, I shouldn't say usually, the ones that I've encountered, and the reason why I see it is because all of a sudden they're on Creator Connections. Okay, because we have all these reports with all these different extensions now, right? Something's on your storefront, you're notified there's a Creator Connections campaign for it, and then I look on, and I'm like, okay, well, let's see what the commission was on Logie, and I look, and I'm like, but they're not on Logie anymore. Yeah, they left Logie to do Creator Connections. I'll blame that on Stas. Where are you? Hey, Stas. No, I'm just kidding. And so that's how I've been made aware that a couple of the brands that I was going to like double down on. And, so I do love the idea of just notifying those that have been matched. And there are some times that you just bought the product before. It could have even been before the brand came to Logie or before the brand did a creator connections. You just happen to have this product, and it's like, okay, so you wouldn't get notified, but if you were matched or if you did the half price thing through Logie, I think that would be great if we could get notification that a brand is no longer with Logie. That would be wonderful. I agree with that, Andrew. Thank you.
Okay, that's a great feature request, and we'll definitely do something about it.
And Cheryl said, what's the chances they will put the reports back since so many sellers are getting hurt? It,
I,
this
I
is,
think it's up to us, the creators, in the creator economy. I feel like if creators and associates will actually not just feel the pain, but respond to the pain and let Amazon know by sending an email to whatever email you have to let people know, hey guys, whoever did this decision, it's really hurting us, and it's just unfair to do that, and definitely not to do it in like a month or 2 months notice, telling us bye, it's gone, and not even offer us a different solution. It's unheard of anywhere, like it's literally unheard of, um, to do something so that has such a big effect on how everybody that's working with you has is managing their businesses. And it's not like they're not allowed to do that. That's their own, sandbox. They can do whatever they want there, and we're just, they don't really care about us. That's the truth. We see that year after year. um, but
yeah,
but even though they can do whatever they want, there's like the most basic things that you would ask to know. If I sold the unit, I want to know that I sold it. That's the most basic things. And even some people said that they're doing it because of that Halo sale hack that could be considered a hack. And I say, to fix that hack, it's so easy. You can do that in one small line of code. You don't need to take all the reports away from everybody. So I don't think that that's the reason why, because nobody's going to be that stupid on Amazon to say, oh, because of that hack, let's just take the reports, because that's like just, oh, I have a flat tire, let's replace the entire car. I have a flat tire. Let's throw the entire car out the window. I don't need the car anymore because I have a flat tire. No, you can fix it. So I find it very hard to believe that they're taking all those reports just because of the halo, technique that people are using, because that's literally boom, one band-aid and you're done. I feel like there's a much bigger, strategy behind it, and that strategy is what really hurts all the stakeholders that are a part of the Amazon Associate Program, except for Amazon themselves, that now they're the kings, they're the dictators that decide what to do and how to do. And you can never even argue because you don't have any proof to argue like we had in the past. We could see what product was sold, what wasn't eligible. That's fine. I can argue on it, but nothing. You just are completely blind and you don't know anything about what's going on in your account. You just need to work as a you know, you do what you need to do and you don't ask questions. And if we decide to pay you, we will pay you. So so that's kind of
yeah,
how deep that rabbit hole goes.
yeah. I have a theory.
Yeah. What
Y'all
is
know
it?
I always have a crazy theory. I bet that there are so many influencers that are contacting the support line. Of course, we all know, don't even bother contacting support because 97% of the time they're either going to give you the wrong answer or they don't know. But there's a whole lot of other influencers that are contacting them. I sold this product and I thought this and this and that. And they're like, you know what? We got all this AI now. We can get rid of all those people. All those people. Once we stop showing the folks what they've sold, they won't have anything to contact support for. Because everybody going to be in the dark. That's my theory. And I'm sticking to it because they are all in on the AI, and that's why they got that little AI bubble that I'm going to read y'all some of the answers from when we get to the actual topic for today. But I see that Lane is here. So, Lane,
Hello.
I was bragging about you and how you just blew everybody's mind yesterday in the automation talk.
I heard you. I heard you.
Yeah, and I talked about you on a little another little group, a little behind the scenes group that I was in last night, and because people are asking like, how do people get all this stuff done? And like today we're going to be talking about offsite. In a minute, we're going to talk about, I promise. But and I use you as the example of, this is one of the what I always tell people, know your capacity.
Mhm.
I'm going to say it one more time. Know your capacity. Just because we see this person doing this and that person doing that, you can't do it all. But with a little automation, take it away, Lane. What can they do?
You can be everywhere without having to do the work. And
Yeah.
it's cheaper than you, for the most part, I would say cheaper than hiring a VA or someone else to do it because it would take them so long to be able to get it done. Like one of the new things that I recently implemented is that I translate all of my titles and descriptions on YouTube into, I think it's 191 different languages. And there was a time where I was kind of curious to see how long would it take? What is involved to do this manually? And I'd literally sit at my computer with one video and I would go through and I have like a little Google Translate button thing that I can click and it'll automatically translate it, but to go one after the other, it took forever. And now, literally in, I'm gonna say seconds, I can have a video translated. And that's just one of the small things. You just that is a very like advanced tactic that I put into place because using Genius Links, I think that it is advantageous for me. And with YouTube starting to auto dub videos as well, like if people can hear what you're saying in different languages, there's a good chance that they may shop from a different Amazon store as well. And so I guess I'm kind of future proofing myself and being ready right at the forefront for what I see is coming. Um, and, I went overboard with 191 just because I know how many languages YouTube supports and what I can get from it. If you wanted to, you could just do, the 20 major languages or whatever. But that's just one. In fact, on the call with Fluencer Fruit yesterday, I started the call with a Logie product. I don't know if you saw that part, Eileen. I think you were there. And I said,
Absolutely. I think I
we're
have
gonna
that product
do
over here.
yeah. We're gonna do an automation. I'm gonna trigger it at the beginning of this, and then at the end of the live stream, we will see where it went out to. And so I literally took a picture of it and posted that picture on Amazon. And by the end of the live stream, you'd see that a blog post was made. It was up on Facebook. There's a few other places that it was up at. I just didn't have time to go through all the different places, but once you like I didn't do any all I did was do what normally everyone else would do. Again, it's another advanced technique because you have to be able to write an Apple or an app script with Google in Google Sheets to be able to comb through the data, to be able to pull that picture data, and then send it to an N8N automation to be able to create the blog post. And then from there, you have plugins so that it gets distributed everywhere. Like it took me a long time and a lot of research to be able to figure out like all the little nuances of everything that you need to be able to make something like that happen. But I did it. And now it's hopefully, it expands my reach with one more different types of content because I already have, videos going out. Now I can do pictures everywhere. But then also it adds a text component too with like blog posts and all that type of stuff. And everything I send out, it's got that Genius link attached to it too. So if somebody wants to buy something, boom, the link is right there, affiliate, disclosures and everything. So,
I think you should patent your system, trademark it, and the whole bit. And it's absolutely brilliant. And my favorite part of it, you guys should really, I put the link in the chat, is the YouTube thumbnails. Well,
oh
you can
yeah.
use those thumbnails on Amazon as well, but they were so cute.
They're good. I mean, I was impressed with what I came up with. So,
And I mean, it looked like you. I mean,
right. Exactly.
you with the
Exactly.
product, you with the product, you with the product. And
Yep.
so it's great for branding. And you didn't have to sit there and pose for it. You just took that one picture and uploaded it into your chat GPT. And so that was all part of the process. So it was, here we go. There's some of
Can
those
y'all see it?
thumbnails. Yes, we can.
So
Look at
all these
those.
are automated and AI generated. And just to give you an idea of what it was before, like it was just whatever either YouTube picked or whatever I had on Amazon. They were just screen grabs basically. A lot of time it's me like trying to hold the pro like these right here. See, there this
Mhm.
one, the toothbrush,
Mhm,
or this
toothbrush.
one right here. Like they were so boring, and I knew that I could get some better ones if I were to just be able to find a way to automate it and get a good prompt that would really capture what was happening in the video. And I did that. So, and it's this is like I think whenever I was kind of testing some things and whatnot. That's why you have some mixed in. So,
Yeah.
sometimes the automation, you got to kind of fine tune it and whatnot. But,
Mhm. If
and
you
then
could
right now,
share
I
that
also
prompt,
say again.
if you could share that part of the process with everyone, I think that would be amazing because, we could all use some little better thumbnails on Amazon. And for those of us who are doing YouTube,
Yeah, well, if you go to the dadreviews.org/automation, like I said, I try to
yeah.
keep that updated with almost everything that I'm doing. And at the top, got like a newsletter thing, sign up, whatever, and you'll get free prompts. And I've got two of them in there that I think could help you guys out. One is the thumbnail generation right here. Just simply pop that into ChatGPT and add in some images. And if you go back and watch the Fluencer Fruit thing, I copy and pasted the three images that YouTube gives you from the auto-generated video
Thumbnail. Mhm.
thumbnails. And then I have the product image from Amazon, copy paste, and then a picture of me, like a pretty better, higher quality one than what you'll get in like the little thumbnails. And so I put that in with the prompt, and boom shakalaka, there it is. And then the other prompt, if you are doing YouTube, is how to create chapters for your videos. And the reason why I included that one in there, and I've been telling you guys to do this for a long time. I don't know how many of you guys have done it yet, but go to repurpose.io because you can use their tool to be able to cut your video by chapter. And so you can create a clips channel of your content, or you can create shorts of your content based on those chapter readings. And so now I've given you the prompt, literally given you the prompt to be able to do that. And why is this so important? Like, there's a lot of talk these days about Amazon wanting us to do more off-site. We're seeing that with the new, what is that called? I can never remember what it's called, sponsored clicks or whatever.
It
And
is because I
I'm
wrote it
seeing
down
money
because
from it. It's not a whole lot because it's so new, but I'm really curious to know how this is going to go in the long run once I get, a couple months worth of data. But
sponsored products for creators.
there you go. And so yeah, I'm like I said, I'm adding in is kind of like my give back, I guess, to you guys. Like I've
Thank
been
you.
creating these things for gosh, probably 3 years now. And Liz kind of put me over the edge. She said, we need to get Lane on to show some automation stuff. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay. I don't have time for this, but okay. And so I figured I guess I could give back by giving away these prompts to you guys. And then maybe in the future I'll like build out some workflows or some kind of thing to where I can do more of that, but we'll see where it goes. For right now, I've got prompts for you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And
you're welcome.
make sure you guys go over there, dadreviews.org, .org,
Yep.
because don't come back over and say, I went there and it didn't work, because you didn't put in .org slash automation.
And look, I'll put it in the chat for you guys.
Dadreviews.org. Yes, that'd be great. And then even the people that are watching the replay, that's why I'm trying to be so
Yeah.
articulate. Okay, great. All right, so we got into sort of the YouTube piece there, and we only have a few minutes left to be at the before we're at the
Well,
top of the hour.
once
Go.
you get it to YouTube,
Mhm.
though, you use repurpose.io and it's going to send it out everywhere else. So
Right,
you really
right.
like once you get that nailed down, you're good.
Okay.
And I've done it. I've talked to y'all. There's plenty of replays about repurpose that I've talked about on with you guys
Mm,
before. So
absolutely. And so let me just tell you what happened when I asked my little AI ask, what's it called again? Wait a minute. Let me ask creator assistant. Got all these new names we got to remember. What's the best platform for offsite promotions? And I think they gave it to me in order of importance, but don't hold me to that. And there's 8 of them, so y'all don't get bored. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, then YouTube, Pinterest, and y'all know Pinterest is on the come up with Amazon with the little connections that they have going. Snapchat, and I know Lane does the Snapchat in part of his automation, and I even sent something over to Snapchat myself. I don't know if anybody saw it. Reddit, I'm lost on the Reddit part, so please don't ask me any questions about Reddit. And my favorite, Twitter. Well, they have X, Twitter. So I was pleased with this list, except for the fact that, um, well, let me read this part first because after it gave me that, and then it gave me a little text, it said important requirements. I'm actually enjoying this little tool, y'all. All social media accounts must be public and accessible without login requirements. You can also use websites and mobile apps as long as they're publicly viewable and comply with program policies. I'll say that again. You can also use websites and mobile apps as long as they are publicly viewable and comply with program policies. Each platform has specific best practices for content creation. You can find detailed advertising specs for Meta, TikTok, Pinterest, and Snapchat to optimize your content. So I'm like, see, now you don't run off the rails. I wasn't asking you about advertising. I asked about promotion. So I had to bring her back. Are these good for organic promotions too? And yes, these platforms are excellent for organic promotion. And then gave me some ideas. So if anybody has access to that Ask Creator Assistant, please type yes in the chat. And I gotta admit, I am super behind on the chat. I know I said earlier, I keep an eye on the chat. Yeah, I see 28 new ones, 31 new ones. Okay, so Michelle has it, Sandy has it. So these are the kinds of questions that you may want to put in there. And another thing, y'all know I have my cheat list of all the links to go. Like, where do you go for settings? Where do you go for creator ads? Where do you go for signing up for the next webinar? And so I have been collecting this long list of links. I don't even have to maintain that list anymore. As long as this little bot is there, I could just ask it, what's the link for? In fact, it's come up a few times in this new group I was telling you about. What's the link for one link? Boom, gave me that link right away. I was able to go into one link, share it with the person I was asking about one link, and And so then I started quizzing it. What's the link for this? What's the link for that? Gave me the link every time. Creator ads, all that stuff. So that's another way that, you can get those answers quickly. But I did love this list that it gave me for sites that, to promote off-site. And there was another one that I wanted to follow up with it about, and that was Substack. Because for some reason, that's kind of like the thing now. Everybody is getting, if you don't have a website already, or if you had a newsletter and it's, dying, but you want to revive it, or what have you, Substack is another platform. And it came back and told me, yes, Substack is great too. And, because it has so many different forms of content that you can put up there with blogs, notes, podcasts, live streaming, and I think that's it with Substack. So let's see. What is the AI creator assistant you're talking about? It's not available to everyone, Andrew, but it will pop up as a bubble on the bottom left-hand side. When you go to your earnings report, that's the first place that I saw it. My earnings, doesn't matter, on site or off site, doesn't matter. It's a little bubble. Ask creator assistant. And so if you don't have it, you just didn't get it yet. And in fact, at the end of a chat with it, it asks you, what do you think about, this little tool? What other kinds of questions would you like to see this little bot be able to answer and respond to? Gives you one of those Qualtronics surveys. You know how they always do those little surveys. So, yeah. So there you have it. And I wanted to go into a couple of these. We kind of went into the YouTube piece, but I want to talk about the Pinterest since we have like a couple minutes. Okay, who wants to use Pinterest or who is using Pinterest? Just type me. If you don't care, don't type anything. If you care about Pinterest, okay, I get a couple me's already. All right, so here's the first thing that everybody can do if you have a Pinterest account. Everybody can do this. Edit your Amazon profile that's going to be on your storefront, and add your Pinterest link. Now, I think it was Claire, our friend Claire from Data Coach Claire, brought to my attention about 2 months ago or a month ago that now Pinterest is one of those sites that people can get approved for the program with. But it didn't dawn on me, well, if they can use Pinterest, then Pinterest can be on our profile. And, but I just so happened to see it. I just wanted to double check my TikTok link. That's another thing you can do while you're over there in your storefront settings. You just go to your storefront and you see the edit button on the right hand side. Make sure that TikTok link really goes to your TikTok, not just TikTok. Because there was some kind of glitch back when Amazon was telling us, make sure all your profiles are linked and all that stuff. And we all had problems. A lot of people couldn't get their Facebook to work and all that stuff. During that time period, they made a change with the TikTok and it was not going to your TikTok. It was just going to TikTok. Okay. So make sure that's working, but then also add your Pinterest link. Okay. That's new. So if you haven't updated your profile in 2026, add it. Once you've done that, Now, this little connection between Amazon and Pinterest has not rolled out to everyone yet on the Pinterest side. The part that I just told you on the Amazon side, everybody has that. But on the Pinterest side, I'm going to give you the link. What you need to do is claim your Amazon influence, or actually your Amazon storefront. I should have changed that word to look for Amazon storefront. So now on your Pinterest profile, you can have the Amazon link. But I'm going like this because that's that little arrow. But everybody doesn't have access to it at this moment. But I think, because I didn't have access to it, but once I went in there and did the step I just told you and added Pinterest to my Amazon profile, the very next time I opened Pinterest, I got a prompt that said, "Hey, you can connect your storefront." And I'm like, just can't be a coincidence. Okay. But I feel that if you do step one first on the Amazon side, which everybody has access to, then step two is going to trigger step two if you don't already have the access to it. Hope that makes sense. I only see my Antoine said, I only see my Pinterest link, none of the others show. You mean when you look at your profile on the public side? Is that what you mean, Antoine?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So I went in there and edited. I already had that in there, but only Pinterest is showing. That was weird
Wait a second.
on my Amazon
Yeah, I know what you mean, but
storefront.
I'm just going to look at your storefront because that's weird.
Yeah, that is
What's,
weird.
what is your handle again?
CPI.
Yeah, yep, your Pinterest is there though.
Yeah, that's all I see is
It
Pinterest, but
white
I got all of them there. So that
all of
is
them there. I would just retype them in,
okay.
like go back to your settings
I'm having all
and
types of
just
problems over here.
yeah.
I'm not getting paid, links not showing up.
Oh gosh.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
just try that. And I'm gonna keep an eye on it too for you. Anyone else? Let me see. Sandy says, same thing happened to me. As soon as I added Pinterest to my Amazon profile, I was able to claim my Amazon storefront on Pinterest, but it links to my Canada storefront, which is not what I wanted. Wonder if someone could visit my Pinterest and tell me if it links to my Canada, or you put your Pinterest link in the chat, Sandy. We'd be happy to check it out. Nancy, hey Nancy. My personal Pinterest aligns with my brand. Wonder if I should just change the name to my brand and use it since it's already heavily populated. Okay. I don't know the answer to that question, but when you say change the name, I'm assuming you mean the name of your Pinterest account. Yes. Yeah, I don't have enough expertise to answer that question. Sounds like it might not break anything, but I don't know. And you know what? I'm going to write your question down because we do actually, there is a Pinterest and Amazon community that folks got invited to that were on that webinar that they did. Okay. Here's the downside to that, it's a different app. It's Discourse. It's not Discord. So Lord knows I don't need another app on my phone, but that's the way they do. So it's a discourse app. I've been on it before. Antoine, you can go ahead. You had your hand up.
Yeah, I did. I think I see it. So when we link in Pinterest our Amazon account, when we add a link to the product, it automatically uses our affiliate link. So normally, because normally what I've been doing, I've been using my Genius link there. So I'm trying to figure
Oh,
out,
okay.
does this
This
cause me trouble here?
great question. Great question. That someone asked that question on that webinar. And I've noticed it myself because I've tested. And if you go back and test some of your links, even though you've been using Genius Link, they don't always work. They do not always deep link when I say they don't always work.
Okay.
They work. They just don't always deep link. It's a Pinterest. I don't want to call it a bug. I'll say it's an inconsistency within Pinterest. And it's weird because most people that are using Pinterest are on their phones. So why they don't have that fixed, I don't know. I don't think they see it as a problem because they see a lot of traffic. Apparently, Amazon's still getting a lot of traffic from Pinterest. So if you check some of your Genius links, because I know Sandy asked that question in a prior session, and I forgot to come back to you, Sandy, on that and tell you that sometimes it works, and I'm using Genius Link. Sometimes it deep links, and sometimes it doesn't. And I don't know why.
I also want to jump on here and say something real quick about what I've been discovering, Eileen.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I have
What,
a
just
ton.
one
Okay.
second, Michelle. That Sandy, your link opens up Pinterest.com. Okay, go ahead, Michelle.
I get a lot of views because I have also have a blog, and I've been testing with the new CC things where we can get clicks per paid per clicks on Pinterest. And there are two ways we can leave a link in there. There's the product link where we can go in and we can type in the ASN, or we can leave a link. We can even search for the actual product on Pinterest and it'll pull it up. If you do that, then you're going to get a little product box below your pin. It's basically 3 clicks for the person trying to get to that product. And it never open that never opens up into the Amazon app when you do it that way. If you put it in the link with your Genius link, just I'm experiencing just what you are about 50% of the time, it will open into the app and the other 50% it won't. But that way, if you're tracking inside Genius links, you're at least able to see how many people are clicking on that link. When you use their own product link on Pinterest, it's not tracking in Genius Link, and you're not going to you cannot track it on Amazon either because Amazon doesn't have a good way for us to track our links. So I just wanted you to know that because I know a lot of people are and I'm one of them. I'm posting similar pins and then doing their built-in product linking and Genius links on the actual outgoing link. So I'm testing them side by side so I can see what's happening. I just
So,
wanted to say that.
so just I was a little distracted.
Okay.
So just let me clarify. You're saying you're also seeing this inconsistent no matter where you put it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. Because actually, Pinterest admitted that. Like
Where did you see that video? Was that
it was
something
a
you was
webinar.
live?
It was a
Okay.
webinar. It was a webinar that I'm sure I told you guys to come to. But
I missed the
but you know,
last 2 meetings, so
everybody can't be a webinar junkie like me.
I love them. I love them.
But I think that replay may still be available. You know what? I'm going to write myself a note. And I apologize, Sandy. I answered your question incorrectly. Yes, it goes to your Canada Amazon storefront. Okay. I'm going to write myself a note. Pinterest replay. And if I find a replay, I'm going to post it in the Facebook group. So please don't say, I didn't see it. You gotta look in the Logie group. And for those of you watching the replay, yeah, join Logie, Eileen.link/Logie. There you go. Andrew said, I think the Amazon webinars are useless. Haven't learned anything new in 3 years of any of those webinars. This was a Pinterest webinar, not the Amazon webinar. It was a Pinterest webinar. And that caused a lot of confusion prior to the webinar because a lot of people were saying the same thing. In fact, one of the young ladies says, we're not, Amazon tells you you're not supposed to share that link because everybody didn't get the link and blah, 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 blah. And then I had to go back to that person and say, side note, This wasn't sponsored by Amazon. This was sponsored by Pinterest. So it was a Pinterest webinar, and just about everything in there was new. All the stuff is new, but you ain't got to worry about it because I just told y'all everything. Except outside of actually doing a demo of creating a pen, which I will save for our next session because I actually have done that for you guys before. So if you missed it, you missed it. But you can look forward to it in the next session if you don't know how to do it, or if you're just curious, like, what is she doing that I'm not doing? You know, and there's a thing that it's not going to deep link. So it's nice to have the Genius link there and all that. Like Michelle said, you can still track how many people click. I don't care about the clicks personally from Pinterest. If I was in that sponsored for creators program, I would care about the clicks, but I'm not in it. So I don't care. I care about the sales. And with that, I would love, love, love to go back through all of your questions and comments, but unfortunately, it is like 15 minutes past the top of the hour. We do have our 2 p.m. session with my girl Alto Vise. David, you were quiet today, but I hope all is well. And I mean, I hope all is well with everybody, but I know a lot of times when David comes, he's really got something that he wants to ask, and he didn't get a chance to ask it. So, with that, you guys, I hope to see you all next week, and I will see you at 2 p.m. Thanks so much for coming. Bye for now.
Bye, y'all.